We talk a lot about aesthetics and memory on this channel, how that extends to media formats, and given that we are deep into spooky season, I thought this week on the Videocast we'd look at Halloween on VHS. We're going to be talking movies and specials, commercial releases, as well as recorded broadcasts and bootlegs. Also, because horror is so closely associated with Halloween, watching horror movies I'm sure is a tradition for many of you watching out there. We will be covering some horror VHS as well. What about the format lends itself to the genre, some history, related nostalgia. Can't wait to get into this. As always, I'm your host Brian, and this video is made possible thanks to our patrons over at patreon.com/pixandportraits. We have a free preview of our new movie show, Cinema Unkempt, available over there right now if you want to see what the Patreon is all about. If you have the means, please consider tossing us a couple bucks, keep all this going, get a ton of exclusive content in return. We also have merch, a bunch of different ways you can support us. Now, it's only fitting that we kick things off today with John Carpenter's Halloween, not only because of the subject matter, but because it hits on many different things we are going to be talking about. It was first released on VHS in 1979 by the company Media Home Entertainment, which shows up quite a lot with these early horror releases. This company was founded by Charles Band, who produced, directed, and most importantly, distributed a ton of classic horror films through his various labels, like Full Moon Features, Empire International. These should all be very familiar to anybody who grew up watching horror movies on VHS. Band was instrumental in getting horror movies into homes. Prior to this, you were at the mercy of whatever was on television, and to be fair, there was a lot of horror on TV. Classic horror movies were TV staples, pretty much, since the dawn of television. They'd be shown weekend afternoons or late at night, sometimes hosted by a gimmicky horror host that would add context or pad out the movies to fit into longer time slots. These were generally safer movies, monster movies, corny, low-budget schlock from the 40s, 50s, 60s, but throughout the 1970s and certainly the 1980s, horror movies changed. Halloween was a big part of this. It didn't create it, but it absolutely popularized the slasher genre. It was gritty, real, it was violent, which makes it all the more wild that the television rights sold for $3 million in 1980. Obviously, because of the subject matter, certain scenes had to be censored. It ended up airing October 30th, 1981, to coincide with the theatrical release of its sequel, Halloween 2. New footage had actually been shot for Halloween's TV broadcast during the production of Halloween 2, so it would fit into that 2-hour time slot, making up for what was cut. No doubt, this was a lot of, at the time, younger people's introduction to the franchise and modern horror. Because of this additional footage and some other changes, the Halloween 81 broadcast became almost mythical. One of the features or benefits of VHS was that you could make home recordings of TV broadcasts, and thanks to VHS, Halloween 81 was recorded and could be preserved. WOC with original commercials. This was bootlegged for many years and actually continues to be. You can buy fan-made special editions, custom-made. People love the novelty of this stuff. Novelty plays a huge part in VHS's sustained popularity. There was a concerted effort to make VHS collecting lucrative, especially once video games skyrocketed. You are seeing it with CDs now, DVDs. People get priced out of one hobby and head to another, hopefully before the same thing happens there. Gotta collect something. But one genre that has always held value on video is horror. Old Vestron tapes, or Wizard, with their oversized cases, highly collectible stuff, even more popular horror releases, fetch a higher asking price. Why? What is it about horror on VHS that resonates so much with people? The easiest answer is nostalgia. They grew up with it. It's how they first consumed this media. The aesthetics are associated with their memories. A lot of horror movies, lower budget ones especially, were also shot on video. The fact that it is analog and a physical piece of tape that shows its wear and tear also contributes to the overall vibe, the static and tracking. Every tape had its own personality. Like I was just saying, VHS allowed people to save recordings that otherwise would have aired once. In the case of certain Halloween specials, they would air yearly, but if you missed it, you missed it. I doubt I'm alone in this, but I had my own Halloween mixtapes, and this is how I remember these things looking like. This is not what the broadcast looked like. Depending on your reception, it would have been a lot clearer, but it would be next to impossible to see that now. A lot of this was ephemeral in nature. It wasn't meant to be saved, and a lot of it hasn't been, at least not in any sort of official capacity. Thankfully, people had the foresight to record and then upload this kind of stuff so we can all see it now. However, at the height of the format's relevance, a lot of TV shows and specials did get commercially released on VHS, even more than horror movies. This is what Halloween means to me. I can watch horror movies any time of year, but October is for the specials, like It's a Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown, the OG Halloween special, first commercially released on VHS in 1985 by Media Home Entertainment. There's Charles Band again. The Great Pumpkin was released on video many times in 1988, 90, 94, 97. Disney's Halloween Treat was another TV Halloween tradition. This first aired in 1982 as part of what is now known as The Wonderful World of Disney and would get reran well into the 90s. This featured many spooky or straight-up Halloween-themed scenes and shorts from Disney's history. An extended version, called A Disney Halloween, aired the following year, with an introduction from Michael Eisner, as he was wont to do. But in 1984, Disney's Halloween Treat received a VHS release. As a 90s kid, I was into the Disney Afternoon, which had a trilogy of Halloween tapes released in October 1993, Boo Busters, Witcheroo, and Monster Bash. These each had 2 episodes of either Rescue Rangers, Goof Troop, DuckTales, or Darkwing Duck. They all had some kind of spooky bent, and started with the same grim, grinning ghosts sing-along music video. I remember renting this as a kid. Nickelodeon released something similar in 1994, Nickelodeon Fright Fest, with Halloween or horror-themed episodes of the first 3 Nicktoons, along with seasonal bumpers, which is an excellent touch, Rugrats, Doug, and Ren and Stimpy. The Simpsons, with their annual Trios of Horror. This is my favorite. This is what I would save in a fire. There was a recording I used to watch every year of the Fox Halloween Bash 1994, which was a Simpsons-themed Halloween marathon hosted by a bunch of celebrities. It's gone now. I say it all the time. If there is something you like on the internet, save it. Not out of fear-mongering. Things really do disappear. I wish I would have saved that. Hopefully, it gets uploaded again. I do have this, though. In 2000, a bunch of episodes were released as part of the Trick or Treehouse collection. These collections were common at the time. 3 VHS sets around a theme, usually. This one is horror. It only actually has Trios of Horror 3 and 5, which, to be fair, were 2 of the best ones. Not my favorite, but arguably the best. There was also a UK release in 2002 that had 5, 6, my favorite, 7, and 12, which is a weird selection. I guess that was the most recent at the time, is the thinking there. I was pretty shocked to find a Nickelodeon VHS from 2003 for SpongeBob. That was the latest or most recent that I could find. Commercially, VHS died in 2006, but it is still going strong, again, being kept alive by people who care. There are people producing some great bootleg work, putting a ton of love into custom releases for Halloween specials. Seek them out. They're out there. Anyway, that is going to do it for today. This was not meant to be exhaustive. Let me know what you think. Did I miss anything? What are some of your favorite Halloween memories tied to VHS? Let me know in the comments. Be sure to give us a thumbs up, subscribe, share, and if you have the means, please consider supporting us on Patreon. Check out some of our other Halloween content, read The Nostalgia Economy. As always, thank you so much for your interest in this channel, and thanks for watching. See you in the future.